Oh, hey guys, what's up? I didn't see you guys there. What am I gonna talk about? Hey, not a bad idea. Hey guys, welcome back. And in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about All Elite Wrestling. So basically a little bit of a history lesson, sort of. All Elite Wrestling was announced as an official company a couple of weeks, months, a while back, and ever since then people have been talking about it. And since it's been a while since the company was officially announced, I think this is a perfect time for me to process everything and to talk about some of the good, some of the bad, and my personal thoughts on this. So first, let's get into the bad aspects of the company that they could face or that may happen. The first thing is too many companies. So basically what I mean by this is, well, there are a lot of companies around the world, wrestling companies to be exact. You got New Japan, you got Pro Wrestling Noah, you got ROH, you got the biggest of them all, WWE. And within WWE you have multiple brands, like you have Raw, you have SmackDown, you have 205 Live, NXT and NXT UK, and then a lot more even around the world. So basically this could be a very big problem for them. My second point is being original. Since there's so many wrestling companies, you're bound to take inspiration or take some things from another company's storyline and incorporate it into your own, which makes some fans basically feel like there's nothing new, there's nothing that makes me want to make me take time out of my life to watch AEW, which could work in a very negative aspect for them. My third point, and probably the biggest point of one of the bad aspects of this company, could be too much hype. Now you may be asking, why too much hype? Isn't hype good? Yes, but to a certain level. When AEW was announced, there's so much hype around it that it's gonna be hard for them to basically impress everyone, and it could set them up for big failure. Their expectations to an all-time high, which is probably gonna be a problem for the company because they have to make every fan love the product. So one of the problems that they're going to run into, since fans are hyped about it, since they have a high expectations of it, a lot of fans are not going to be pleased with some of the stuff that they see. And that's basically something that could work in a real negative way for the company. As a fan, as a wrestling fan from a long time, since childhood, when this company was announced, I had a lot of expectations. Take for example their All In pay-per-view. They had so many great matchups. Their main event, Rey Mysterio, Bandito, and Kota Ibushi versus the Young Bucks and I believe Adam Page, Hangman Page. If I'm wrong, just correct me in the comment section below. But that match was cut short due to time management and stuff, but the time that they were allotted was amazing. It basically summed up the entire event beautifully. It was an A+ show for me personally. And now let's get into the good aspects of the company. Partnering up with multiple companies. Now you're probably going to be thinking, what? Jazz, you're crazy. You said too many companies is a bad thing. Yes, but it's also a good thing in a point of view of where all these companies are going to come together and give us some fresh new looks or fresh new matchups, which is going to be a huge thing for AEW if it wants to basically be a competitor to WWE in the near future, or in a couple of years. So my second point is different matchups. Now this connects with my first point of, if a lot of companies do come together and becoming partners, we will definitely see some new matchups. One matchup that I'm really excited to see is Chris Jericho versus Bandito. Now that matchup is going to be amazing. Yes, Chris Jericho can't move like he used to, but still, he's still able enough to tell a real good story and make the other person look great. One key example, Omega versus Jericho. That match was a classic. That whole feud basically shook the wrestling world because Chris Jericho is known as a WWE guy, but he stepped out of his comfort zone, went to Japan, had a classic match with Omega. Now just imagine what that match did, and now imagine what some other matches could do. Chris Jericho versus Bandino, or Pac, formerly known as Neville, versus Bandino, or a lot of other matches. Ibushi versus Jericho, or Ibushi versus Pac. A lot of matchups that are gonna be instant classics. And my third point that could be a good aspect of the company is listening to the fans. Sometimes wrestling companies get so caught up in the business aspect is that they forget to listen to their fans. One main example that I think of is WWE. They're also neglecting some aspects that they shouldn't, like tag team wrestling. And listen, some fans are love tag team wrestling, like Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, like the Brainbuster with Tully Blanchard, like old school tag team wrestling. But the thing is, since WWE is focusing on other things, it's also neglecting their power to listen to their fans, which I think AEW would do good at. They will listen to their fans, they will hear what they have to say, and that, in the long run, is going to be very beneficial for them. Now for my personal thoughts. AEW has a lot of potential, but they also need to do some stuff that will help them in the long run. One of the things is focusing on new talent. Since they're partnering up with multiple companies, it's beneficial for them to give each superstar, male or female, the enough time to basically evolve as a character on TV. Now, an example that comes to mind is that the company that failed with this is TNA. Since TNA had a lot of potential, at one time I legitimately thought that TNA could be WWE's WCW. I legitimately thought TNA was that good. But slowly it started declining, and the reason is that they started declining was because they started signing so many ex-WWE stars, and they just strapped a rocket to them and like shipped them off to the top, which they can't do. Now, one example of a failed opportunity that TNA had, one opportunity that they had that they failed at miserably, is the Main Event Mafia. Main Event Mafia consisted of Kurt Angle, Sting, Scott Steiner, Kevin Nash, and Booker T. The five. You could have used that group to elevate guys like AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, a lot more, Jay Lethal, many more. But it just ended up being a group of veterans killing all the young lions. It should have been the opposite. Like WCW with the NWO at the starting. NWO would dominate on TV, but some of the babyfaces would get their win back on pay-per-view. At the end, the means justified the ends. Or I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But at the end, it should have been the Main Event Mafia elevating the young lions of TNA, AJ, Joe, and everyone basically in that company. And one thing that AEW should do, and I think they will do, is focus on tag team wrestling. WrestleMania season. I'm recording this video on March 27th. A little over 2 weeks or a week and a half before WrestleMania. And the current WrestleMania card doesn't have a tag team title match. Let alone, even on the pre-show. And there's a rumor going around that the tag team matches may not even happen, which is a big mistake. Because all the wrestling fans come together for WrestleMania. whether it's regular fans or hardcore fans. And everyone needs their stuff. Like, some people watch wrestling shows for tag teams, some people watch it for singles matches, or whatever the thing may be. But I think WrestleMania is one place where everyone gets everything in a bundle. I think with the Revival are WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Usos are SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They've been teasing the Usos versus Hardys. They should not relegate that to another pay-per-view. It should be a WrestleMania classic. Those two teams alone. And then you have the Revival losing to Aleister Black and Ricochet, which I get it, new guys and stuff, but the Revival should also look strong in defeat, but they're not. It's just, the title was given to them just to basically, as a prop, like, here you go. Which is a big, big no-no. I think this is where AEW will succeed. And here's my personal thoughts. I think the Young Bucks versus Pentagon and Phoenix at Double or Nothing will main event. It should main event. If it doesn't, it should at least be the co-main event. If that match isn't main eventing, I think it should be Omega Jericho. But if it's not Omega Jericho, this is the match. This is a match that people will be talking about forever. It's going to be an instant classic. There you go, guys. Here's a video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys do, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. And before I end this, I gotta give a shout out to my cousin Gavin. He also has a YouTube channel. He takes inspiration from me. And he's actually the cameraman. So I gotta say thanks. And I'll leave his channel link in the description below. Until next time, guys. Peace.